Good afternoon, classmates, especially to our most beautiful teacher, Miss Jingle A. Padayaw. Good afternoon, ma'am. This afternoon, I would like to introduce to you my topic is all about call for Filipino patriotism. For the learning objectives, we have at the end of the lesson, the student will be able to show concern for the rights of others, practice tolerant behavior towards diversity of views, culture, and beliefs, and translate human rights into social reality. For the introduction, we have a respect for human dignity. A landmark couple in sexual passive interest has also declared that peace would be built if citizens apply themselves seriously to respecting the rights of others and discharging their own duties, according to Pope John XXIII in 1963. In Islam, it is believed that all human beings have the right to life at conception and after birth, a right to opportunities to live a rewarding and satisfying life. And it is according to Mahmoud Avedon and Nis and Merkling is 2001. Abstraction. Understanding the concept. The tradition of human rights concept is as old as human civilization. Every society has varying norms to protect human life and dignity. Great religion strengthened the traditions. Human rights can be broadly defined as those rights which human beings are entitled to, which no one can deprive them of. They are a set of guarantees that ensures not only living but also those basic conditions to live with dignity. As a human being, they are designed to protect individuals from the threat to life and human dignity with the growth of power of states, complexity, and the stratification of society. Such a set of guarantees was necessary. The Declaration of Universal Human Rights by the United Nations Organization is a moral victory of mankind as a whole in recent times. It is the culmination of the moral values that all religions advocated from the beginning of history. Now, for the first time in history, the whole world has accepted a set of rights applied to every human being, irrespective of nationality, religion, sex, social status, occupation, wealth, property, or any other differentiating ethnic, cultural, or social characteristics. The Declaration begins with the article, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. The purpose of declaration is obviously to provide a global foundation to protect human dignity. It subsequently initiated various states to adopt and enlarge the principles of human rights in the Constitution. Many codes of rights like African, Charteron, Human and People's Rights, European Conventions, Human Rights and American Declaration of Duties of Man sprang up following it. The Declaration also led to include principles of public law such as race, equality, sex, discrimination, and court procedures. The Declaration covers right to life, liberty, and security of person, slavery, torture, cruel punishment, arbitrary arrest and detention, and invasion of privacy and family are banned. Due to process of law is granted using such principles as innocent until proved guilty. Freedom of thought and speech, conscience, and religious belief are accepted. Private ownership of property, freedom of movement, right to employment, health, education are also guaranteed. The Declaration covers such major areas like survival, dignity, political action, culture, and economic and social rights. However, the convention is the present form may not be perfect according to a certain cultural perspective because of the strong Western cultural influence in their make. At least it has got to be accepted as a set of minimum moral standards required by all culture. Developing consciousness of rights, its importance in the and thus they are strong factors in peace. Most of the conflicts arises from violation of human rights. Mere acceptance of the rights, nationality, or intentionally alone is not sufficient. The political, cultural, and economic diversities of the globe are so complex, and therefore there is need to have determined action to make human rights a reality in societies. It is the need responsibility of every citizen, government, and civil organization to secure them. Education of human rights. Schools have the responsibility to educate the next generation on human rights and inculcate the basic value embedded in there. Although many curricula have it as a unit, generally it is taught only on the cognitive level. Such academic learning has little impact on the actual behavior. Merely memorizing the articles in the convention does not go far. What is necessary is to help learning them in a manner that the respect for human dignity is internalized and be a part of one's character. We have yet to search for effective methods of teaching human rights. One of the critics of the present approach to teaching rights is that it ignores the responsibility sides. In the West, we see the overstress for the rights which has led to imbalance of civic consciousness. And human relationships, campaigns that propagate human rights rarely speak about duties that go with them. Therefore, the message that people get is fight for your rights, neglect your duties. And the Orient, the emphasis is always given to one's duties before rights. There is an interesting Buddhist discourse called Sigalowada Sutra. Therein the Buddha explains that parents, masters are bound to do the rightful workers when they perform their duties to masters. One has earned one's right by performing the duties. They are inseparable as the two sides of the same coin. Children, especially in primary grades, may find it difficult to grasp the concept like rights. Their ability to understand abstract concepts like rights, freedom is yet to develop. Life of learning, for instance. Standing in a queue for one's turn, keeping promises, returning a debt in time, helping the injured and sick, keeping the public places clean, not encroaching on others' property, sharing of experience such familiar situations are helpful. Balasoria 2001. Individual introspection under such circumstances is encouraged. The teacher opens up students to discuss, share their feelings and thoughts. The experiences are interpreted and judged by the principles of human rights, equality, and justice. The basic approach here is to develop sensitivity to deep suffering experience by human beings in situations where their natural rights are deprived. For instance, the feelings of being socially rejected are recognized. Along with the development of affective, the feelings of deprivation, students begin to broaden their consciousness and change their attitudes towards the necessity of respecting and protecting the human dignity. Building on the issue of the rights of women, children, minorities, religion, sex, refugees, and various other social groups could be discussed. The notion of rights need to be extended to the animals and to the nature as well, which recognizes and respects life in every form. As you move forward, you begin to see every right arises from a basic human need. For example, the right for education, has education is a need in man. Thus denying him an education is violating a right. All various of human rights are violent acts because they involve depriving a person from fulfilling his needs. They can hold all the rights as expressed in the activities provided the foundation for the democracy. In short, democracy is the governance that ensures human rights. Democracy is the process of ensuring and securing human rights. It is basically a conflict process. Peace arises from the proper functioning of democracy. In other words, peace in a country is the product of a democracy. Once again, good afternoon and thank you for listening.